Vic have to lobby, or how did that go down, getting him active?
I think we were all, including him, feeling good about how he responded and reacted after the game last night and today, and going through, what he's done to prepare for the game. And so we'll give it a go.
I assume still off the bench, still a limited set of minutes he's allowed to play.
Correct.
Obviously, when he's limited, it complicates the way you can handle him and his rotations. When you have a game like last night where he gets to the end and he's run out of minutes, does that cause you guys to go back and revisit how you might reconfigure that?
This has been such an ongoing, uneven build out that we go back and revisit everything. The one thing that we've said, and I feel very strongly about, is I want him to play a natural flow of minutes, what I mean by that is I don't want him to sit out for a quarter of gameplay. That's not natural. That's not, I don't think, fair to him. And I don't think it's fair to his teammates when I don't want to get too cute where he doesn't play the first half and now the game's taking on a personality. And then what does that mean? Does he have to put on the cape and save the day? Do the other guys now have to play differently, even though the whole half the games happen? So there's a lot that goes into it, and I understand all the perspectives and opinions of it. And I think we're trying to do what's best for Victor and what's best for the Spurs all at the same time. And that's my job, and I'm the one ultimately that makes the decision, and that's that.
So, Mitch, I was curious, did you see had showed video where Victor kicked the balls out of the net? I'm just curious if you saw that. It seems like every game or he does something that's sort of mind-blowing. Did you see it, and what did you think of it?
If you had done it, I'm going to tell him not to do that.
I saw it after much time, so he was fine. So I was okay. If I saw it in real time, I may feel differently. But he does things that are just unique, and I've learned to not tell him what not and what to do, just to try to help him maybe sometimes of when and how, or what the rippling effect could be. But I don't have any experience of kicking anything, so I can't speak on that.
Kicking restriction tonight.
He might have already done it again. I got no idea. Pre-game is someone else's responsibility.
How do you think that the other guys have responded to? Obviously, like you said, you're trying to build a natural flow with Victor's minutes, but how do you think the other guys on the court have responded to, I guess, those sort of inconsistencies in terms of him starting or coming off the bench?
I think they've been great. You go back to Vegas against Oklahoma City was the first time we did it, and we've done it numerous times since then in different ways with different amounts of minutes and different groups and lineups, and he's finished some games, he hasn't finished other games, and it's been a testament to him and to the rest of the guys of just how they've really not blinked at any of it. Doesn't mean all the results and outcomes are what we want, but they've stayed together. There's been no agendas, there's been no bickering or selfishness regarding it. It's we have one goal, and that's trying to be the best team we can, and it's a long season. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and we're not going to ride the emotions of it. We're going to just keep on trying to not skip steps and get better.
Devin getting any closer?
He's getting closer because he's had a really good stretch. I don't have a time for you or whatnot, but he's had a really, really good stretch, and so we feel really good about that, and it's good for him because he's been having a heck of a year. So I'm glad that he's doing well and continuing to progress.
When you get especially a defensive effort like you got from Jeremy last night, defense on the boards, how do you look at that as a coach and think of maybe opportunities to get him in the rotation, or is it still just sort of playing it by ear, how the team is going that night?
I think it's all of it. I think how do we talk about rewarding the process or actions and approach that we want, and then not acknowledge when that process happens. The outcome, we didn't win the game. His box score wasn't something that if you didn't watch the game, you'd say, oh, Sohan had a monster game tonight. If you watch the game, he helped change the trajectory of the game. That's something that if we don't acknowledge that, then we're going to lose a lot of credibility in that locker room, and we should. So I thought Jeremy did a great job at that, and I think we've had guys step up all year, and it's not always been someone who's had consistent playing time before that. And again, it doesn't always feel good, and it's frustrating. It should be. I want everybody to want to play 48 minutes, but it's also part of being a professional, and Jeremy's been a great one.
You won one against LA, lost one against LA. I know last night you talked about execution. Execution-wise, what do you need to see out of the guys tonight?
I think we have to continue to not be driven by the outcomes or necessarily the immediate feedback of whatever's happening. I think if we can commit to the process of the game plan execution, how we want to play, then if we miss the shot or they make the shot, but if what we did on that possession is how we wanted to execute or what it should look like, we should believe that. And I think sometimes lately, and including last night, we've been a little bit too reactionary to the immediate feedback we're getting from a result.